Alrighty, folks, how you doing? This is another video that we have. It's a question that we get fairly frequently, but it's also a class that we teach at Dream Conference every year, and it's some of our top strategies for building dream centers. And this one has to do with remodeling. So remodeling rooms. We have a model at the main site here in Phoenix, called the Dream Rooms, and if you look at the rooms, like they are mega multi-million-dollar rooms that have been remodeled, like over-the-top luxury style remodeling, and we didn't spend a penny to do it. So I'm going to talk to you about this strategy and how it's worked to help us to remodel the building once you have the building. So the way the Dream Rooms work. So let me describe the Dream Rooms. When we first started our human trafficking program, the Dream Center here in Phoenix, the main campus, is just an old hotel. It's an old hotel like from the early 70s, and so they had not remodeled it, had not even torn up the carpet. It looked like it had originally 70s style carpet. It was pretty harsh, but in general, it's a nice place. The air worked, electricity, everything worked okay. The issue we had was here we were pulling young girls out of human trafficking situations, usually old hotels, and we were taking them to an old hotel. And so it was our first the recidivism rates were pretty high, which we thought they would be, but as the recidivism, which is just the runaway rate and the turnover rate, as the attrition rates and recidivism rates became kind of stable, we're like, okay, we gotta do something about this. We gotta help the girls want to stay at the Dream Center, because they go back into the life. And so we worked with some of our psychologists and our team, and we just had this idea. We just had this kind of what if idea. What if we could make the rooms like really nice for the girls? And it was our first thought of what role do environmental factors play in human trafficking, and how women are served, how young girls are served. And so that was a great thought and a great theory that we had, but we had no money to do it. I mean, literally, we're starting our human trafficking program, and we weren't even paying any of the staff. It was all volunteers. We had 4 girls in the program, and we were just like, I don't know what to do. So as far as getting money, and so I thought, maybe a capital campaign, and the rooms weren't trashy. We had painted them, and we had redone some of the tile. They were as nice as we could get them for, a couple $1,000s a room. A room here is, by the way, about 500 square foot. It's like a little miniature apartment. They were old 2-part embassy suite rooms. There was a kitchen, dining room area, and then there's a bedroom kind of in the back, bathroom in the back. So 500 square foot spaces. So a contractor that had done some work with us at the Dream Center in our kitchen, I was sharing with his team about this thought that we had, that we think that the environmental factors will greatly help us with attrition rates and recidivism rates, and but we have no idea how to do it. Now, I was kind of like, the major donor list, you go back and you ask them if they've got friends that can help you with this. I was thinking maybe we'll remodel a room and give it a try, but he came back to me and he said, well, how far would you be willing to take this? And I said, well, I have 10 rooms, and I thought, boy, he'll never go for 10 rooms. I said, we got 10 rooms up on the 4th floor, 500 square foot rooms. They all need remodeled. The roof is leaking. I'm just storing blankets and boxes and things in it. So we could do those 10 rooms. And so through that work, we came up with this plan, this strategy, and we thought, well, what if? Because at that time, this is 7 or 8 years ago, the move that house remodel sort of thing was sweeping TV. Remodeling competitions were big on TV. So we thought, well, why can't we do it? And we talked to some TV stations, and nobody really was interested. We were kind of not known for anything at the time, but this particular contractor built luxury homes, and so what he did was he leveraged his relationships. One of those relationships was with a luxury home magazine down here in Phoenix called Arizona Foothills Magazine. They kind of became part of the core key to this. So So what we got with them, kind of pitched the idea to them. They loved the idea, and essentially what it was if you were to take out a marketing spread with this magazine, it cost you it cost you like $30,000. The true cost of like just the time to print it and do all that stuff was about $2,000. And so we started with a central prize of this marketing spread. We said there's a $30,000 marketing spread. This is in a magazine that they all that designers around the valley here were well accustomed to. And so we said, okay, we've got the prize. Now we need to get the contractors and the designers. And so this contractor that I was working with invited 10 of his friends. He said, Brian, I'll get them to the Dream Center. Let's have a dinner for them, and we'll just pitch it. And that's exactly what we did. We brought them down, and so we had 10 tables, 10 different designers and some of their teams, and it was a heck of a scheduling thing. We did it after hours because that worked for them. Just had some light refreshments for them, nothing really super fancy. It was at the Dream Center, and the contractor got up, said why everybody was there, and talked a little bit about his idea. That I got up and shared about the program and shared that this will give us 21 more beds for girls coming out of human trafficking. It's going to be amazing. Had a couple testimonies, and I really thought in my head, well, out of these 10, maybe 2 are going to sign on to remodel the rooms in this competition, but all 10 of them signed up to do the competition. I'd never seen anything like it before in my life. So we got to work. It was a 75-day competition. Each designer was responsible to remodel the room. Now, I thought in my wildest dreams, they're going to put $7,000 or $10,000 into each room. They're going to do wallpaper or paint and new carpet or tile and some couches, and I really thought that's the extent that they're going to go. I was blown away to see the numbers, that the minimum any of them did was $60,000. One of them did $90,000, and then we did the Dream Rooms project 3 more times, and the minimum that any of them did was $100,000. Now here was the character. Here were some of the true magic of this Dream Rooms project. So the key variables were a prize, a grand prize, multiple rooms. We've since done it for houses, for other areas, offices, spaces. So multiple, and then people competing for that. We undervalued the value of competition among designers. Like, they were fiercely competitive. So you get them there, and they're looking at what other people are doing and saying, oh no, we got to do better than them. And so they, of their own initiative, just that competitive nature, they weren't really competing for the grand prize. I mean, they were, but they were competing with each other. Like, they had a competition to go. And by the way, there were multiple prizes, like best bath, best floor, best kitchen, best bathroom. So there were multiple prizes. Everybody won something, but there was a grand prize winner for that grand prize. So we grossly underestimated how competitive the folks in the design and construction world were, and they drove those costs themselves. The other thing that was a real secret sauce to this was we found out that most of these luxury home designers, at some point in their career in the last few years, they had done an install of like a bedroom or a kitchen or a bath or something into some wealthy person's home, and the person came back and said, I don't like it, like, tear it all out, I don't like it anymore. And so a lot of it was customized appliances and one-offs that was not returnable, so they just had to eat the cost. But when you're dealing with, you're going to put $1 million into somebody's pool bath house or whatever it is, like, money was not an object to a lot of these folks. But what we found was that these contractors had storage units full of like brand new stuff that was perfectly good that they needed a write-off for, and guess who could give them a write-off, right? Like, so the value that they put in materials, we were getting luxury home type stuff for the cost of a write-off, and then the true cost then to that designer were things they couldn't get away from, like some of the labor. Now, some of them, their staff volunteered their time, and it worked out really well for them too. But that was certainly some of the secret sauce of this. The rooms then absolutely turned out amazing. and gorgeous, highly efficient rooms for energy efficiency and all these different things. They were a true blessing to us. The first 6 months, we had like a 30 to 40% drop in our turnover rates. The next 6 months it stayed. Over the course of the next couple of years, and now here we're 7 years into it, turnover rates have dropped 40%. And so what we found was that the environmental factors, when you take a woman or a girl out of human trafficking and put them into a supremely opulent room with high-end stuff, and bear in mind, like your first thought as a director is, man, I can't afford that, but I couldn't either. Like, we didn't pay anything for these rooms. You realize that we paid nothing for these rooms, just the time and like meeting with people and all that kind of stuff. Supreme way to get the rooms going for you. But what we found was that the girls, it helps them, makes the program what we call sticky. So it helps them to stay. We're headed into the tunnel here in Phoenix. Helps them to stay in the program on the front side of life. And then the thing I think we had no idea about is that on the back end of the program, when they're ready to leave, they've spent a year and a half, 2 years in these very opulent rooms, and it has restructured their brain for what they feel their value is, what they feel their worth is. They truly feel more valuable and worthy. And what that's done is, when they're going out looking at apartments, looking at places to live, it's changed where they want to live in town and what they feel their value is. So on the front end, it made them want to stay because, like, I'm getting all this for free. You're not asking me to do anything. We're asking you to do one thing, we say, and that's to try. That's to try to work out all these, everything going on in your life. But then on the back end of the program, after they've graduated our program, it has worked wonders in helping them to increase their value of what they feel that they're worth. So the Dream Rooms project has been incredible for us. Again, some of the key components are you need multiple of something. So multiple rooms in a house, or multiple houses, or multiple rooms in a building. You need somewhat of a grand prize. And honestly, we did one subsequent to this with churches that there was no grand prize like that. It was just out of the good nature. I mean, we gave a prize, but so the prize is just kind of something, I think, to get people to the table. Once they're at the table, they hear your cause, you get them hooked in, and they really want to be a part of it. So those were the key components. And then the competition side, just fostering some competition, but again, you can make it best bath, best floor, best whatever the case may be. And then the other key component is you're helping these designers and these contractors to get a tax write-off for all the old stuff that they have laying around. That is not necessarily bad stuff. It's just stuff that they couldn't use, or they didn't use, or that somebody had returned it and couldn't use it. So the Dream Rooms project has been an amazing project for us. I highly recommend it for you and for your team. Hope this has been helpful. God bless you. Bye-bye.